So I got 3 note pages for you to get started, so that way you can have it down in your notes, so you can be able to look at it while we're working some problemos. Get attendance in.
What is the CSC again?
Co-secant, secant, and cotang, I think, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Look at, I'm remembering stuff.
What is that? Armwood on the right?
Cotangent.
CRT. Can we take the test over?
What? Why? Well, because you've got half of them wrong, if you got a 50.
Well, it felt really easy like that. It felt like I was, having no trouble. But I just,
Did you go back and answer those two?
well, I answered it.
Alright, so nobody's writing, we're ready for page 2.
I forgot about that part.
Reference angles.
Now you have the graph on.
We needed to know where the X and the Y came from here.
And what was that graph on the other page? I didn't put it in. I didn't see it till the last second.
So the R is the hypotenuse.
It's also the radius of that
Yeah.
circle.
Yeah, both of those are correct statements. Alright, we're ready back for page 2 now?
Yes.
Okey-dokey, artichoke.
What is this in the
The reference angles. So you've got angle theta, and then the, theta that has the little tick mark by it, that's prime. So you got theta and theta prime. So theta prime is the reference angle.
On that first one, is that theta prime is equal to 180?
180 minus theta.
Jeez.
I'm deaf, I can't see. can do it.
Good morning. Yes, I did it this morning. Okay. I saw that, yeah. Uh-huh.
Roman numerals are cool.
Yeah, they can't stand still very well. They're always wrong. That's a good one, Chrissy, come on.
It took me a minute to get it.
Alright, page 3,
I used to be able to count to like 50 or
then we can get started. It's better to get all this now, then we can just work our problems. So all that's telling you is in which quadrant you can expect them to be either positives or negatives. Let's just do some fun problems now. Sounds like a plan, Stan. So there's how that first page of notes that you took, we're fixing to use that right now, and here's how the problem will be presented to
We're
you.
supposed to find out.
Just hold on a minute, yes, that's gonna be part of it, yes. So what we're given is just that angle, we've got our initial side on the x-axis and our terminal side is going through the point -4, 3. Okay, so what we would do then is get ready for what Christian is talking about. To find an R, we have to realize that that can form that right triangle right there. Okay, so we start thinking about Pythagorean Theorem. We've got
That's
-4 squared plus 3 squared
It's the 3, 4, 5.
equals our, usually we say c squared, but I'm gonna put r squared for this case, cause that's our radius. So 16 and 9 is 25 equal to r squared. I do the squared by square rooting,
Pythagorean triple.
and that is, you're correct, a Pythagorean triple of 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now we know all three sides to the triangle. So our directions say evaluate the 6 trigonometric functions. Okay, so we've got, I didn't put my, theta
I
on
thought
there,
that was
but,
a 5, this one, and then you
the-
can all the way.
oh, I'm sorry, that's a 5. So my theta, here's angle theta, I didn't draw that earlier, but that's okay. Alright, so the sine of angle theta, you wrote down is your y over your r, right? See where we're getting that? We okay? The cosine of angle theta, you wrote down was your x over your r. And then the tangent of your angle theta, you wrote down was your y over your x. Okay, everybody good on the first three? Now for your next three, if you can remember which one's the reciprocal of which, all you have to do is flip them. So cosecant of theta would be 5/3. Secant of theta would be -5/4. And cotangent of theta would be -4/3. Not too bad, huh? So again, trig, oh no, trig, that sounds so hard. Well, the only math that you did there was the Pythagorean Theorem, and that's geometry. That's just math. Okay?
That's stuff you can punch into a calculator.
It's been calculated, so we use the, yeah.
Why do you wanna start using it now?
Well, I thought we were able to all you because from that
Quarter.
Because of what?
corona.
Well, we're still just in the corona pandemic, dude.
We're just a little bit less.
Yeah. That's up there, let up on it.
Alright, now I want you to grab your unit circle. Let's see how we can use our unit circle to evaluate these functions.
Yeah.
Alright, so I want us to find all 6 trig functions of a 270-degree angle. So if I told you to grab your unit circle, odds are 270 is on your unit circle, and there it is, I see it.
3 pi over 2.
Okay, so that 270 degrees is the same as 3 pi over 2 radians, but what's important to me and when I'm finding all 6 of the trig functions is that ordered pair. See the ordered pair that accompanies 270 degrees? Okay, now it tells you good, it tells you up on the top there that your ordered pair is your cosine, comma, your sine. See that on the top of your, so I already know 2 of them. And then it tells me that I can find the tangent, this is all on your unit circle, by doing the sine divided by the cosine. Okay, so I should have everything I need. Let's start writing them out and see. So I'm gonna say the sine of 270 degrees is equal to -1. You see where I got that? Everybody okay on that? The cosine, where'd my marker go? There it is. The cosine of 270 degrees is equal to 0. Everybody okay on that? Here's the tricky one.
The tangent and error.
The tangent of 270 degrees is undefined. Now, Christian was right, your calculator would tell you error if you did that. Do you see why it's undefined?
Because you can't divide something by zero.
Very good. That would put -1 over 0, and you can't divide by 0. When you have a 0 on the bottom, it's undefined. Okay? All right, so now for our reciprocals. These are not on your unit circle. Oops.
Closer. Oh,
Uh-huh.
would it be undefined too?
Be 0 over -1.
Let me erase so I've got room to
So it would just be
write
zero.
these. Yes, but let's get there first. So the cosecant of 270, what's the reciprocal of -1?
1. No.
Half.
Isn't it -1?
I
Okay, look up here in the top right. -1 is the same as -1 over 1. So if you flip that, it's still -1 over 1, right? Okay. The secant. What's the reciprocal of 0?
0.
Nope.
Error.
Undefined, because I would put the 0 on bottom. Okay. Cotangent's the one Christian was already talking about. What's the reciprocal if the 0 is on bottom? Puts the 0 on top, and what's 0 divided by anything?
0.
0. Okay? Feel all right with that? Get you a little practice on seeing how you can get the answers off your unit circle. Did any difficult math that you did there?
No, it seems a lot
No.
easier. I just gotta know what I'm doing.
Yeah, it just took a little bit of reading on
Yep. Alrighty, now those reference angles, let's do a couple of problems with those. That was the next thing you copied down.
We should do it on our own. See if we can
Okay, good idea. Let's do that at the end. Let's get all this stuff covered first. Alright, first we'll look at angle theta is 5 pi over 3. And all we're asked here is to find the reference angle. So that's what the question says. We're not doing the trig functions or anything, we're just finding the reference angle. So those reference angles were labeled in our notes as being in quadrant 2, 3, or 4. So I gotta know what quadrant that's in. And so I'm gonna use that unit circle to help me find what quadrant that's in. It's in quadrant 4. Everybody see that on the unit circle? So I go to my notes and I see when I'm in quadrant 4, if it's in radians like we have it, we do 2 pi. So I'm gonna say theta prime is equal to 2 pi minus 5 pi over 3. So what you do depends on what quadrant you were in. Now, I got aggravated, what day was that? Tuesday, when y'all had to work with 2 pi? Classes didn't know how to work with 2 pi very well. 2 is the same, I could rewrite 2 as 4 over 2, right? That wouldn't do me any good here because I need a denominator of 3. So I could rewrite 2 as 6 over 3, right? So I'm looking at 6 pi over 3, that's the same as 2 pi, minus 5 pi over 3. So 6 minus 5 means that theta prime is 1 pi over 3. And that was all you were asked for, was the reference angle, so you just found the reference angle. Now you noticed on that chart that you copied down that the reference angle, you got your angle theta, then the reference angle would be what's remaining to get back to the x-axis. So that would be, if we think about 5 pi over 3 being down here, so this would be angle theta, there's your 5 pi over 3, and then that would be pi over 3 to get back to where you started. That's what you're actually finding when you find reference angle. Let's do one with degrees, because we had some degree notes on there too.
So no, that would be like 1.4.
Well, I don't know for sure what the hypotenuse would be because I didn't even give us an ordered pair here. You're trying to make it more difficult than we need to right now, so hold on to that thought. Alright, negative 130 degrees. That's a weird one. Angle theta is negative 130, and all we want is the reference angle. Again, we're not doing the trig functions or anything, we just want the reference angle. So first off, what I need to do is,
Add 360.
Figure out
okay,
which quadrant.
add 360. Cause that's coterminal, so that's good, Christian. What's negative 130 plus 360?
330.
Okay, now 230, I can look on my unit circle, even though it's not on there, I can see that would land me in quadrant 3, wouldn't it? Okay, so I go look at my quadrant 3 notes, and I'm in degrees, so I'm using that formula. It says do your angle theta, which is 230 minus 180. So what do you get on that? 50 degrees is theta prime. Very good. So finding reference angles is not very difficult, now that you got a chart to look at.
You should do one on our own.
Oh, we might in a minute. Okay. Let's see if we can evaluate the tangent of negative 240 degrees. Alright, so I only need tangent, don't need all 6 of them or anything. What might I do here to get the ball rolling? Christian, you were right with it on the last problem.
Add 360.
Add 360 negative angles, go ahead and get a coterminal and add, because it'd be the same place on the unit circle, so it's gotta be the same value. So what's negative 240 plus 360?
120.
So I need the tangent of 120 degrees. Unit circle, is it gonna help us? Yes, it is. It's got the ordered pair on 120 degrees, whoops, of negative 1/2 and square root of 3 over 2. So to get, that is, remember your cosine and your sine. So the tangent puts square root, I'm marking
Can the
this one,
2
please.
cross out? Okay.
Just, yeah, you get so far, you go so fast. Square root of 3 over 2 over negative 1 over 2. Okay, now we remember that dividing by a fraction is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So this would be square root of 3 over 2 times negative 2 over 1. And now I'm caught up with Christian. Those 2's can cancel out. So all I've got left on top is a negative and a square root of 3. On bottom I got a 1, so I can put it or I don't have to. So the tangent of negative 240 degrees would be the negative square root of 3. Pretty cool.
So what is tangent in relation to?
And a triangle, that would be the opposite over the adjacent leg. Okay, let's look at another, let's do one in radians. Let's say we need to find the cosecant, so all we need is cosecant of 17 pi over 6.
So we're finding
The cosecant, yep.
That ain't on our unit circle.
Attention students, all outside date forms and photo IDs must be turned in to Miss Perry by tomorrow at noon for prom. The outside date will not be admitted without documentation. Thank you.
Okay, so Tyler's
Well,
correct, Tyler's correct,
If
17.
you do 330,
Okay.
but add 360.
Oh, okay, hold on. Tyler's correct, 17 pi over 6 is not on our unit circle. So Christian is correct, we can start trying to find a coterminal, but we're in radians, so it's not 360 that I wanna use. What's coterminal in radians? 2 pi. How could I, write 2 pi with a denominator of 6? 6, what divided by 6 gets you 2?
12.
Okay, so would this be a good idea to try?
Mm-hmm.
And notice I subtracted, coterminal could go in either way, so let's see what that gets me. 17 pi minus 12 pi is 5 pi. Is that on our unit circle? Ding, ding, ding.
Yes.
Okay, so let's look at the ordered pair that we have with that. Negative square root of 3 over 2 and 1/2. We need that's just cosine and sine. We need cosecant. Which one is cosecant the reciprocal of?
Cosine, so we just,
Nope, which one is
Oh, wait.
cosecant the
Sine.
reciprocal of? Sine, right? So I need the reciprocal of 1/2, so that would be 2. Hey, that's a pretty good 2 I just wrote.
oh,
Gotta love your unit circle.
What I was thinking it was gonna be is 100 married.
Well, you were on the right road, but you can't,
I was looking at 3.
he was on the right road going the wrong
and it
way.
said 11 pi over 6, and I was like, well, you can get 17 by adding 3 6s, so add another 6 to it. So it'd be 17 pi over 6. I guess
I didn't understand the word you just said, but okay.
alright, y'all wanna try something on your own, let me get you something good. Let me get you something good. See if you can evaluate the cosecant of 540 degrees. That was baby work, wasn't it?
I hope so.
Alright, what'd you do first?
Subtracted 360.
I went
Yeah.
coterminal, so took 360 off of that to get it something that you're crossing your fingers is gonna be on the unit circle. What was it?
180.
Oh, that's such a good angle. So we need the cosecant of 180 degrees. Its ordered pair is -1, 0, which is your cosine and your sine.
Take
So the sine is 0. That's what we need the reciprocal of. So when a 0 is on top, and you take the reciprocal and put that 0 on bottom,
That's
that's undefined.
Hey, I did it right.
I put error.
These tests are so easy. Syntax error, syntax error, syntax error.
Alright, so tomorrow we're gonna do some practice with this kind of stuff. Pretty good, y'all are getting better at it, getting a little confidence with it. Next week is gonna be weird because the sophomores are testing Monday and Tuesday. That is, are you a sophomore? Is Zach a
So that's
sophomore?
August. Yeah, that's
Okay.
August.
So, yeah, So we won't, none of my classes will do anything Monday and Tuesday, cause it's not fair to the morning classes to not, so. And then Wednesday is
So you
virtual
don't do it
day.
in the morning and nothing the rest of the day?
That'll be up to your teachers. I'm not going to, cause I like for my classes to all be doing the same thing for video purposes and all that. Then, Thursday, we'll do the next lesson, and then Friday we'll do an assignment over it. So you'll really only have one lesson next week. One lesson and one grade.